and I met her through Sabrina. I can't remember Sabrina's last name right now, but I
Sabrina
remember you did a
Teacup.
talk with Sabrina, and
That's
I was driving. I couldn't be on, but it was so amazing. I wanted to be live while driving. I'm like, I shouldn't do that, but I really wanted to talk to you then.
well, I'm glad to be here with you, Erica. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. When you said that you were looking to be on other shows, I was like, oh, pick me, because I really wanted you to be on the show, especially after hearing you talk about mindfulness. That talk was like really amazing for me. I want to say thank you for doing that talk with Sabrina, and I'm very happy that I got to be a part of it. So
Excellent.
now I want to ask you, what made you want to get into psychology?
So actually, Erica, I am a licensed clinical social worker. So not necessarily a psychologist, but a licensed clinical social worker. So by trade, I am a mental health therapist, and I have been doing that now for 20 years. And it's interesting that you asked me what made me decide to get into that field. One thing that made me decide to get into that field was 20 years ago, there were not a lot of Black and Brown therapists in the area. And so I was like, oh, maybe that's an area that I can get involved in. And part of the reason that even occurred was because all the time when my friends had problems, they would call me and say, Steph, what do you think? What should I do? What do you think? And I'm like, I think maybe I'm on to something here. So that's part of the reason why I decided to become a mental health therapist.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Taking the time to help people. That's like a special kind of person because not everybody's going to take time to stop what they're doing to help somebody else. So I'm sure that's very appreciated. I know I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's just as rewarding to me, Erica, I think to perhaps that it may be to other people. So,
All right. So your talk on mindfulness, it got me doing a lot of things. How did you come to find that mindfulness helps people?
yeah, so that's basically really a practice that we look at in therapy. Being able to help people be mindful so that they can manage symptoms of anxiety and depression. So giving them like grounding skills and grounding techniques. So that's really where that kind of stemmed from, is kind of clinical practice for us in the mental health industry.
Okay. I've learned something new today. So So I've been told that anxiety is fear of the future and depression is fear of the past. Is
Yep.
any of that true?
Yep. There is certainly a degree of truth to that. So anxiety is around, I don't have enough within me to be able to handle what's getting ready to come. And depression is really about, like you said, having some regrets and did I really do what it is that I needed to do or could have done in the past? And so oftentimes you're really talking about very few of us live in the present moment. So depression is really about living a life of concern about what you didn't do or hasn't happened in the past. And anxiety is really around not thinking that you have enough resources within yourself to be able to deal with what perhaps could come in the future. So you are spot on there, Erica.
Wow. So all of my I guess psychology work came from the internet. So who knew? You learn stuff from the internet.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
So I recently seen your YouTube show, Your
Yes.
Best. Nice
Yes, your
show, by the
best
way.
unleashed. Yes,
Your
yes.
Best Unleashed. Okay, yeah. So tell me about that. When did you get started?
Excellent, excellent. That's an excellent question. So thanks for bringing up Your Best Unleashed. I started Your Best Unleashed on January the 30th, and I'm really excited about it. The purpose of Your Best Unleashed is really to be able to provide a message of hope to people, Erica, and to help people be their best mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And my goal is just to give people practical tools to be able to unleash their best. So we had our second episode on this week, the past Tuesday. And for those of you all that are watching out there, I would encourage you to hop on over to YouTube and check my channel out. It's Stephanie Jackman, LCSW, and make sure that you hit the subscribe button and be sure to share it with your community. So we are just getting started. There's great things to come with Your Best Unleashed.
That's true. It's a great show. I like it. Make sure you subscribe because you're going to want to know when Stephanie has new episodes coming up. So you have a masterclass coming up soon on the 1st of March.
I do.
I'm excited about that.
I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
So you guys, if you don't know, I just put up the event page today on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and anywhere else I can think to put it. You will see posts coming soon, at least every day until the 1st and even after the 1st of March, because you're going to want to hear what Stephanie has to say about burnout and procrastination. I myself have experienced that. So Stephanie, could you tell us why do you think business owners or entrepreneurs in the event space would want to come or need to come hear your talk?
Yeah. So Erica, no matter what platform they're in, event space, entrepreneurs, leaders, we all procrastinate at some degree, right? Guilty myself. We all procrastinate at some degree. And it's important that, you tune in on March the 1st, because we're really going to be talking about, how procrastination is like this, it's basically like a self-deception type of thing, right? So when I say that, what I mean is that those of us that procrastinate, we're thinking that we're putting something off for a time, and we are. But at the same time, we're aware of our actions when we're procrastinating, and we're also aware of the consequences. However, what we have to remember is that changing our habits seems to be way more daunting than it is in terms of being able to complete the task that's right in front of us. And that's not always true. Completing the task that's in front of us could perhaps actually be easier than having to learn new strategies to be able to stop procrastinating. So we're going to really kind of dive into that and look at that more in depth. But we all procrastinate. I would say, 20 to 25% of the population procrastinates at some degree. And there are consequences as a result of us procrastinating. So we'll dive into that more on the 1st. So I'm hoping that your audience will join us.
Yeah. Be there in Zoom with us or watch us live via social media. But I got to tell you, if you're not with us in Zoom, you're going to miss out on the question and answers because we're there live. We get to talk to Stephanie virtually face to face, and we're not going to do that over social media. We're going to do that in an intimate setting via Zoom.
Yeah.
So, Stephanie, I got to ask.
Yes.
I'm nosy, by the way. Does burnout and procrastination have anything to do with depression or anxiety?
That's an excellent question. That's a great question, Erica. And I am going to defer that response until March 1st. And because I know you are not the only person that is thinking about that. And that's what I mean. What I'm saying is that there are consequences of procrastination. And part of the consequences to procrastination is physical implications and mental and emotional implications. So when you ask the question, is there a linkage between burnout and procrastination as it pertains to depression and anxiety? I am going to say that there certainly is a link to that, because oftentimes when we're procrastinating, since you pull my arm, I'm gonna give you a little bit. How's that sound, Erica? I'm gonna give you a little bit. Oftentimes when we procrastinate, part of the reason that we are procrastinating is because we have these negative thoughts that come into our mind. And really, one of the roots of procrastination is fear of failure. Okay. And so we will talk more about how procrastination has an effect on us being depressed or anxious, because the anxiety piece to it is that our mind and the self-deception, as I had mentioned earlier, will tell us, oh, Stephanie, you'll get to it later. Just do this now, and then you'll get to that piece later. And that's the self-deception part, because sometimes we don't get to it later. Later never comes. And so as a result, we then have possibly experienced some degree of failure, the very thing that we were looking to avoid.
Yeah. For me, my idea of success is finishing something that I've started. Like completion is like the ultimate goal for me.
Yeah.
No matter what I'm doing, I must finish what I start.
There you go. And that's a great goal to have, Erica. That's awesome. We want to be able to finish what we start. And again, we have to, and I'm going to give you a little tip, because one thing that we are going to be able to talk about on the first is giving your audience and providing them with motivational strategies to be able to assist them with taking procrastination from procrastination to productivity. So one strategy of that is, how do we appreciate those small wins? So you said that, Erica, one of your goals is to be able to, start something and then be able to complete it. So that's a great thing.
Yes, like fruition, whatever it is. It's like when I do laundry, I hate folding clothes, but I know if I don't do it before my daughter gets home, she will help me. And I don't want her to help me. She's great, but I don't want her to help me because everything belongs to her. Everything. No matter what it is, it all goes in her room. It all goes in her drawers, her closet. It's just stuffed in there. And then you have to look for it. So
yes. Yeah. So it's even things like that, right? So it doesn't have to be where we as entrepreneurs and virtual event strategists and therapists or whoever we are, it can be everyday tasks for those in which I really respect as homemakers, and even chores, like you said, that I don't want to do. I am with you. I don't mind putting the laundry in, Erica. I don't mind putting it in the dryer, but when it comes to folding them, that's a whole nother task, right? So yeah, we'll even talk about everyday, life chores and tasks such as that. Yeah.
Yeah, I want my family to have clean clothes with very few wrinkles. I just don't, I just want it to magically appear. If I could automate that, I would definitely do it. Okay, so now,
well, Erica, I heard that you are a queen, the queen of automation. So you might want to work on that. You might could fill that gap there. The queen of automation for laundry folding.
I love automation so much. I got to tell you about a time I fell off, and I fell off because I had automation. So I hosted an event last March. It went really well. I was very scared that I would not have any help. But turns out if you ask people to help you that already likes what you're doing and they like doing it themselves, they will help you. No problem. I didn't know that until I asked. But like, whoosh, good thing to have friends and people who know what you do.
That's
So
right.
I got really tired after that event and I had nothing on my calendar. And everything was automated for well, it's still automated up to 9 years now.
Wow.
So I went to sleep. I did nothing. I literally did nothing.
Good for
I
you.
I had a live stream show for One Stream Live, and I had my virtual summiteers peer group. But as far as Talk Virtual goes, did nothing. It was all automated for my social media, for my live streams, automation. I did
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah. I heard you are the queen of automation. So well done.
Yeah, thanks for that. So I feel like I'm rested now. I took a good 9 months off. Talk Virtual's back with a four-part live stream series with Harry the Big Dog Jamerson, who's gonna host an event also in March on the 23rd for Veterans Laughs Matter. And
Yes.
I'm excited about this event. Therefore, I got energy to work on Talk Virtual and other things now. I get to raise my hand and say, hey, I want Stephanie Jackman to be on the Virtual Summer Tears as a masterclass speaker. And I just asked one time and things worked out. I even got you to come to talk about your masterclass tonight. And I'm proud of myself. I don't really do email.
Okay.
You sent me an email about doing this live stream last week, and I just saw it this morning.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Now here we are, right? Here
Yeah,
we are.
I am so glad things are working out. Because procrastination will get me. I don't check email.
Understood.
I'm always on LinkedIn because there's always like a ding, and I can see my phone.
Mhm.
So it's the little things like that that's why I wanted to talk to you about procrastination, because I feel like it sneaks up on me.
Yep. And again, we all are guilty of it, right? It's basically like we're avoiding those difficult tasks or tasks that we really don't enjoy, and then we will deliberately move to other distractions so that we don't have to do those tasks. We all do it. We all do it. So we'll talk more about that on the first.
I feel a little better now. So another nosy question
Yeah,
is, will mindfulness help me avoid procrastination?
it can. And again, motivational strategies that we'll talk about on the first, some of them will be, you know, kind of some mindfulness strategies, but also looking at some incentive strategies. And I'm going to
Ooh.
leave that as kind of a hanger for the audience that, there's some incentive strategies that um, we can do and implement for ourselves in order so that we can be able to do this thing that perhaps we don't want to do or get less enjoyment out of. And then we have an incentive, and then we can move on to the next thing. So we're going to talk about that.
Okay. That's good to know. I'm still very nosy and I want to ask about incentives, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to ask you about your content creation calendar for your best unleashed.
Yep.
So when
Thank
does it
you.
come out? Is it every week? Will it be every month?
Yep. So typically right now we're on a schedule to where we'll do about 2 episodes a month. So our last episode was this past Tuesday, and that was on the 13th. And then we are scheduled to go back live again for your best unleashed on Tuesday, February the 27th. So make sure again that you hop over to YouTube, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you'll have the opportunity to know exactly when I will be going live. And on the 27th, we will be talking about what I like to call, Erica, is the big D, which is depression. Nobody likes to talk about that, but we're going to be talking about depression on the 27th.
I don't mind talking about it because I want to know how to get rid of it. Like,
Yeah.
if you could throw stuff away, why not throw it away? If you
That's
can get
right.
a delete button, why not do it? Go ahead and
That's
tell
right.
me the answer.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So we'll be talking more about depression and kind of the onset of it and talking about kind of combating depression and moving into, again, how you can live your best life and be your best self physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Because I think if we ourselves haven't battled with depression, then we know someone in our lives that has battled with depression.
It's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gotta go back to your content calendar. So it's every 2 weeks. Do you have a menu posted somewhere where I could see the dates and the content that's going to be associated with those dates?
No, we don't have that as of yet. I don't, no, we don't have that. That's a great idea, though. That's a great idea. I'm taking mental note of that, Erica. That's a great idea. Yeah, but we don't have that just yet. But we are going to be back on Tuesday, February the 27th at 11.
Okay. Is it always going to be on a Tuesday?
Perhaps it depends. I think, we'll look and see how Tuesdays are working. But again, they can, even if they're not able to see Your Best Unleashed live, they certainly can catch us in replay on YouTube.
Okay. Replays come in handy so many times.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, little tip, if you get a scheduler, you
Mhm.
don't have to wait for the replays because everybody's not going to catch you every Tuesday, every 2 weeks. If you just hit the send button on your scheduler, it just sends out all your videos. Don't get too comfortable like that with that, because like I did. Don't let it go out by itself all the time. But people might like to see you more than every 2 weeks. So once you live stream or you have a recording, just put it out every week, like twice a week or once every week, and you have a new one every 2 weeks.
Very nice. Again, I am taking mental note. I am taking mental note. This is certainly your area of expertise. So I am definitely taking mental note in that regard.
The addiction is real when it comes to automation. I'm slowly learning not to set up so many automations and do things myself, but yeah, I still love them.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it makes life quite a bit easier for you, perhaps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
So
all of those things are things that, again, are skills to be able to help reduce tasks for us. Going back to talking about procrastination, think about how many things we would not get done if we had to do everything live, right? So basically, what you're talking about is the dynamic of automation. It's amazing. Look how much time and energy it saves you, because it sounds like you really heavily rely on that, and you can hit the masses with it, and various times and things like that.
yeah. So the reason why I like live streaming is because there is no editing. What you see right now is what you get. Like
Right.
I actually hate that Zoom puts their logo on everything. I mean, I want my logo to show. I want people to see your logo, or yeah, your logo. But
Okay.
like I'm paying Zoom, but therefore I think I should have a logo free live stream. So this is going to go out again
Okay.
via via automation, and it's not going to have Zoom logo on it just because that's what I feel like doing. So setting up the automation, restreaming it, and it's going to go out as live again because I think people need to see Stephanie Jackman. I think people need to see what Stephanie Jackman has to offer, and to know that she has a masterclass coming up on the 1st of March. And for them to sign up for your YouTube channel because it really is a great show.
Well, thank you, Erica. And again, the power of automation. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Again, I am excited and I'm honored that you invited me to come and be a guest. And I hope your audience will join us. We have a lot of great information for them. And like I said, motivational strategies. We're going to talk about why we procrastinate. We'll talk about what are some of the drivers of procrastination. We'll look at, does procrastination serve a purpose for us? And like you said, the consequences of procrastination, whether it be mental, physical, emotional, because there are some consequences of procrastination that fits in all of those categories, Erica, mental, physical, and emotional consequences. And then lastly, like I said, we'll give you some motivational strategies to be able to help you take your procrastination from procrastination to productivity.
Very nice. So I know when you were on another stage, and I'm sorry, I'm Sabrina Tika. You were on
Yep.
Sabrina Tika's stage.
Yep. Tika
You had
Talks.
mentioned that you wanted to yep, Tika Talks. You had mentioned that you wanted to speak on more stages. I was happy. I hope I was the first to raise my hand and say, I want you on my
Yes, you
stage.
were.
How are you handling your speaking schedule for that content creation?
That is a great question. So it's amazing because you have to be careful what you speak and what you say and what you ask for, because perhaps you will definitely be granted that opportunity. So since I said, okay, God, I would like to, speak on other platforms, and that has certainly been granted for me, both virtually, and I have gotten some in person in invitations. So I am managing to devise content and curriculum so that each stage and platform that I am on, the material is fresh and new. And I think, one thing that helps me with that, Erica, is you've probably seen that I'm pretty passionate about mental health and mental wellness. And I want people to be the best version of themselves that they can possibly be. So, in some regards, creating the content is easy based upon the audience and wanting to be able to have new and fresh, relevant information for the participants and the attendees. So I'm learning it, I'm balancing it. I definitely am enjoying it. I'm learning more about PowerPoint. I'm learning more about content creation. I'm learning more about technology platforms. So it's definitely a growth opportunity for me.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
So now I got to know, with all the new content creation that you're creating and your audience. Wait, one question before that. How did you know your audience was your audience?
That's a great question. So I knew my audience was my audience because mental wellness is a universal need for all of us. And at some point, we all have struggled either mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. So creating that content for the masses, for an audience, it comes from a place of experience, right? So clinical experience, having conversations with individuals again around, well, Stephanie, I'm struggling with this right now. I have thoughts around this. What do you think about this? How do you manage this? So everybody wants to be well, Erica. If you were to ask somebody, anybody want to raise their hand for suffering? Nobody is going to raise their hand to suffer mentally, emotionally, spiritually or physically.
No,
So
thank
when
you.
you talk, right. So when you talk about like, how did I know my audience? It's because nobody wants to suffer. So when you're talking about mental wellness, it hits straight across the board for the masses. So that's the niche of where my audience is, because no one wants to suffer. And the purpose of, you know, my I feel like my life is to be able to help and assist people in reducing their suffering. So that's why, I became a mental health practitioner. I launched the YouTube channel for Your Best Unleashed. I enjoy being guests on platforms such as Talk Virtual. So it's that type of thing. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah.
So I did just assume, I assume a lot of things, that since I saw you on Tika Talks and you have your own show, that you were working with business owners or entrepreneurs, because we go through a lot of things.
We do. We do. Yeah, we do. We really do, Erica. And I think, sometimes as business owners and entrepreneurs, those that are looking on the outside in to us, they might not think that we go through things, right? But we really do. I was having a conversation with my husband, Patrick, and he said to me on several occasions, he says, Steph, you make this thing that you do look easy. You
That's
make,
true.
yeah, he said, you make owning a private practice look easy. He says, you make owning, balancing our home and, church ministry and, family time and having contractors and clients. He said, you make that look so easy. He said, but people don't understand and see you, 10, 11 o'clock at night, still working, right? And they don't see you getting up in the morning at 5:15 in order to be at your office by 7. And so I share that with you, Erica, because we all do go through some things and experience some things in order to be able to make those sacrifices so our business can be the best that it can possibly be. And it's not easy. Listening to you talk, Erica, and having the opportunity to have engaged with you over the last 2 or 3 weeks preparing for March 1st and the masterclass, you make it look easy. You just boop, boop, boop. Oh, let me take this out and put this in. Oh, let me put this up. Let me put this logo up. Oh, we're gonna jump back out and I'm gonna send you another link. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And what you sent me last night, and just in terms of landing pages and all, you are amazing and gifted and talented in all that you do, and you make it look so easy. And I know it's not, while still balancing life, but you make it look so easy. And I know you've made a lot of sacrifices. And so, it's important that as leaders and business owners and entrepreneurs, that we help support each other to be our best mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So again, I'm just honored to be on your platform because you make it look really easy.
Wow. I was just about to say, from the outside looking in, your time management skills must be on point. To get up at 5:15, be at your office at 7, and still be up after 10. Yeah. I still think your time management skills must be on point. And you like pizza? Like,
We're connected, right? I love my pizza. Yes, but it comes over time. The time management skills, that comes over time. And again, I believe in order for my business to be successful, every aspect of the business, I do have to make some sacrifices. Now, again, my husband Patrick will tell you there was a point in time in my career that I would get up at 8 o'clock, 8:30, but yet and still I wanted my business to be successful. And when I really came to the point of, okay, if I want my business to be successful, I'm going to have to make some sacrifices. And one of the sacrifices that you make early on in this process of being a business owner and an entrepreneur is that you're going to have to sacrifice some things. And one of the things that I had to sacrifice was some sleep, because I like sleep, Erica. I like to take, I like to sleep. And so I had to make some sacrifices in order to be able to meet the needs of my clients. So if my clients and contractors wanted me to be at the office by 7:30, then I needed to make some sacrifice around the sleep, right? If I have individual clients that would like that 8 o'clock appointment because they have to be working by 9 and they're working from home. Again, if I wanted my business to be successful and I wanted to be able to help others, then I had to be able to make some type of sacrifice. And so now, initially, it was hard. It was difficult getting up at 5:15. But now I've been doing it for the past started in COVID. So I would say I'm coming up to almost 4 years. And now I pop up before my alarm even goes off because I've trained, my body has become trained, right? And so again, research says you do something for 2 weeks, it becomes a habit. You do something for 30 days, it becomes the norm. So yeah. Oop, I think I lost audio.
Sorry, I pushed the
That's
button on my
okay.
microphone.
That's all right.
Like I said, I've heard that, but I always thought if you're watching the clock, you're not really trying to build a habit. You're just trying to see if you can make the time.
No, you want to build those habits. And again, we're going to talk about, building healthy habits on March 1st to be able to move us from procrastination to productivity. So it's really about building healthy habits.
I like that. Like you got to keep moving forward. You can't stay still, be stagnant, because you're not supposed to drink stagnant water. Therefore, you're supposed to keep moving. And you're supposed to drink the water that's moving, and then
That's right.
keep moving
That's,
forward. Yeah,
that's right, Erica. You are absolutely correct. So again, it's about, notice I use the word building healthy habits, right? So it's a process, it's a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. And it's really important to understand that and extend yourself some grace. Because again, as business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, oftentimes we want the end and the desired result right then and there. But it's a
that's true.
process. Yeah, it's a process and it's a journey.
Yeah. I feel like you know me so well. I do want stuff like right now.
Absolutely. We all do. Again, those are universal wants and desires that we all want it, and we want it right now. We don't want to go through, that waiting game or that lull. But it's important for us to remember as entrepreneurs and business owners and leaders that we all have seasonality. We all have seasonality. Everything has a season. Our businesses have peaks and pit seasons, right? And so it's important to understand we'll eventually get it as long as we are persistent and consistent. That's the key, is really being consistent. And again, building healthy habits. And so I would typically, going back to me liking sleep and then making that sacrifice to get up at 5:15, Erica, typically what would happen is I would stay up late until, 11:30, 12 o'clock, and then I would go to bed. Well, now, if I have to be up those mornings at 5:15, I'm in the bed about 10:15, because I really do want to get kind of a solid 7 hours of sleep to then be able to function from 5:15 until about, I'm shutting it down about 9:15 on average PM, right? And so it's important, in order to be able to have good days, we got to have good nights. I'm a firm believer of that. In order to be able to have good productive days, we got to have good productive nights. So I need to
I
get my
believe you.
sleep. Yeah.
I believe you. I get up at well, I wake up at 4:45. I actually get up at 5 o'clock. And
Nice.
I want every bit of that day, but I would shut down. And I couldn't figure out why I was shutting down. And my husband's like, "You're not actually sleeping." I was like, "But I need to get this done." He's like, "How are you going to do it when you're not sleeping?"
Yeah. Yeah. And that's important. Yeah. That's very important, Erica, in terms of being able to get solid sleep. And your husband, if anybody, would know best whether you really are sleeping or not.
Yeah. But I'll just hang out in my office, um, just in front of my computer, just soaking in blue light from my desktop. I'm in a blue room and my desk is a mess. So I know that all those things can make me tired, but I really feel like since I said I was going to do this, I needed to get it done. I had to
Mhm.
follow through. I had to keep my word, and I would just shut down
Mhm.
because I wasn't sleeping.
Yep. And sleep is key and critical, Erica. It really is, in order for us to be able to have a successful, productive day. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I understand that it's needed now.
Yeah, you get it now, right?
I've shut down and fell out like a few months. I get it now.
Well, that's good. Better now than never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've taken on the a YouTube channel and you're taking on more speaking gigs. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
So you're putting your content calendar schedule together. Or I know you're gonna probably say March 1st, but I gotta know how are you handling putting your content calendar together? Are you feeling any strain, or are you still excited about it since people are taking you up on your offer for speaking?
Yeah, so I'm very excited about it, but I'm pretty strategic around scheduling. So I do need time to prepare, because again, I have family life, I have church life, I have a private practice, I have a team of clinicians that partner and work for us, and I have family. I need some downtime and some self-care. So I'm pretty strategic about how I place speaking engagements and um, virtual attendance, or participating in virtual events and in-person events. I'm pretty strategic about the time and the gap between. So again, I can create fresh content, but I am excited about it. I am a big, and Erica, you're just all over my March 1st content stuff. But again, it's okay. It's okay. But boundaries are really key. So you
I
want
am
to
so
have,
nosy, I can't help it.
that's okay. But boundaries is one of those things that really helps me with what you mentioned earlier, time management, right? And also being able to take the time for content creation and scheduling other events on various in-person and virtual platforms. So I'm huge on boundaries, because that really helps in terms of the time management piece, as well as being able to manage and create the content that I need to do.
So now I feel like to prevent, I don't want to ruin it, but it's rolling around in my mind now. So I gotta say it. I feel like a really good key to this is time management and knowing your boundaries and knowing your values,
Yep.
knowing who you want to work with.
Yep. That's certainly part of it. That's certainly part of it. Yeah.
I feel like you're a superhero, Stephanie, and you should be wearing a cape because it's like, aha.
Well, I don't know about superhero,
You're a
but
superhero.
again, I'm just here to be able to help everyone be their best, right? Because a lot of what I'm sharing is really from personal experience, right? It's really from trial and error on my part. And so it'll be interesting to kind of hear from the attendees on March 1st, like where they are in the procrastination kind of realm, if you will. Do they acknowledge that they're procrastinating? And if so, like what sacrifices are they willing to make to take that procrastination to productivity?
I would love to have some productivity. Like again, if there is a button where I can hit delete or just throw away some stuff, it would be procrastination. I like to tell myself, I tell my son this too. If you do it, it will be done and you won't have to worry about it anymore.
Yep. Wisdom. Those are words of wisdom, Erica.
Right. Oh, Stephanie, tell everybody, where is your favorite social media hangout spot?
Oh, that's a great question. Um, right now, professionally, I do spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. So we spend a lot of time posting on my personal page. We also have a business page that we like to highlight our contractors and any type of trainings or workshops or retreats that I have done. So really, I've been spending a lot of time on LinkedIn. Also, we do have a company Instagram page that is at Stephanie Jackman PLLC. And then the LinkedIn page is Stephanie Jackman LCSW PLLC. And then my private LinkedIn page, my personal LinkedIn page is Stephanie Jackman LCSW-R, comma MS. So I pretty much spend most of my time on those two platforms.
And now YouTube.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that honestly, Erica, has really been fun. That has been, it's been fun. It's taken me out of my comfort zone. But again, I just think that um, this is the next chapter and the next phase in order for me to be able to provide a message of hope for others and to be able to help individuals be their best mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So I'm really starting to learn more about YouTube and that platform. And I just want to thank all of my subscribers out there and everybody that's been viewing. It's exciting, and I'm hoping that they are finding your best unleashed to be able just to be helpful and find it to bring relevant information to them.
Yeah, it really is a great show. Oh, I'm going to share my screen because I want people to see the page on LinkedIn where you could sign up to hear Stephanie deliver her masterclass training on burnout prevention from procrastination to productivity on March 1st at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be via Zoom, and you can sign up here on LinkedIn. The sign up page is also on Facebook. I just want to throw that out there. And I want to say thank you to Stephanie for joining us live today. And if you see this again, it's going to be as live again.
All right. Well, Erica, I just want to thank you for inviting me. It was an honor and a privilege, and I am excited about partnering with you on March 1st. And I just want to invite everyone that's out there watching and listening. Make sure you join us on March 1st. We're going to have a good time. And again, we just want to give you some practical motivational strategies to take your procrastination from procrastination to productivity.
Woohoo! Thank you, Stephanie.